Okay, what if I told you there's this story,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not some, ancient myth, it's actually documented about a therapist. And this therapist, he walks into a mental hospital ward, right? A place just uh, brimming with criminally insane patients, people who've done truly terrible things. And impossibly, he healed them all.
Mm.
But here's the truly astonishing part, the bit that makes you go, wait, what? He did it without ever seeing a single one of them. Not in a normal therapy session anyway.
Right, no traditional talk therapy.
Exactly. Without exchanging a single word in that conventional sense.
That sounds
Think about the radical implications of that for a second.
It's huge.
It really is. This isn't just about, finding a new solution for a problem. It's about a profound, almost mind-bending shift in perspective.
Mm.
One that promises, well, they call it zero limits in your life.
Yeah, it's a concept that genuinely forces you to question, well, pretty much everything we think we know about healing, about personal responsibility, and frankly, about the very nature of reality itself. It makes us look inward in ways most conventional approaches they just don't.
That's a really powerful way to put it. It challenges our fundamental assumptions, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
So welcome to the deep dive. Today we are plunging headfirst into this remarkable Hawaiian system. It's called Hooponopono.
Oh, Hooponopono.
Yeah. And look, this isn't some fleeting new age fad. It's an ancient practice, but in its modernized form, it offers a path to achieving, well, wealth, health, peace, so much more.
Mm.
But fair warning, it demands a level of personal responsibility that, honestly, most of us find utterly staggering at first.
Right.
Maybe even unbelievable.
Right. Our mission today really is to unpack this unusual healing method, to really get under the hood and understand its core claim, which is, almost unbelievable, this claim of 100% personal responsibility.
100%. That's the kicker.
That's the kicker. And we want to explore how a few, seemingly simple phrases could actually be your shortcut to a life filled with, well, astounding miracles. We're going to dive into some truly transformative ideas, guiding you through what it really means to clear your own inner world, to shift your external reality.
So yeah, get ready for some serious aha moments, because what we're about to explore might just completely reframe your understanding of yourself and the world. It certainly did for me when I first bumped into these ideas.
Me too. It's definitely a journey.
It is. It's a journey, not a quick fix, and we're exploring it together today. Okay, so let's start with that story. The one that first grabbed my own curiosity, the one that honestly initially sounded like something out of a fantasy novel, almost too good to be true,
I know the feeling.
It was years ago, and a friend, who knows, I'm fascinated by unconventional ideas. He just casually asked me, have you ever heard of the therapist who healed people without ever seeing them?
Intriguing question.
Right. And my immediate reaction, I gotta admit, was just skepticism, pure skepticism.
Yeah.
It sounded like an urban legend, something whispered on the fringes.
It's understandable.
Yet something about it just hooked me, like a nagging question mark in my brain. And it sparked this 2-year quest, basically, to find this mysterious figure, a psychologist named Dr. Ihaleakala Hew Len.
Dr. Hew Len. And the place he supposedly transformed, it was truly unforgiving, a place where hope itself seemed to have just, evaporated.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Hawaii State Hospital's Closed Intensive Security Unit, CISU they called it.
CIU.
Yeah, and this wasn't just any mental health ward. This was specifically for male prisoner patients, guys who had committed truly heinous felony crimes, murder, rape, assault, robbery, horrific stuff.
Awful.
And who were also diagnosed with severe, debilitating mental disorders. Just imagine the sheer weight of that environment, the collective trauma, the anger, the fear, just palpable.
It's almost impossible to really grasp unless you've been near a place like that. And before Dr. Hew Len got there, this ward, it was a picture of absolute chaos, danger, seclusion rooms, those tiny bare cells for containing violent patients. They were constantly occupied. Patients were frequently in metal restraints, to stop them hurting themselves or others.
It's standard procedure in those places, unfortunately.
And physical assaults, verbal abuse. It wasn't just common. It was like a daily, almost hourly reality. The staff, understandably, were just terrified, demoralized.
Burnt out, I bet.
Completely. Turnover was incredibly high. People calling in sick all the time, quitting every month. They felt desperate, helpless. And they actually called it a throwaway unit.
Wow.
Considered beyond hope. A place where people were just contained, barely managed. Zero expectation of anyone actually getting better.
And into that situation, this seemingly impossible, deeply entrenched environment steps Dr. Hew Len. He served as a staff psychologist there for 3 years, 84 to 87,
Mm.
worked about 20 hours a week. But here's where his approach gets, well, truly radical. It defied every single conventional therapeutic method you can think of.
Every single one.
He never once counseled patients directly. Never.
Right.
Didn't do psychological testing, didn't even go to the regular staff meetings, which, were probably just filled with talk about the latest crisis or fight.
Right, exactly. Who hit who?
Yeah. His physical presence on the actual ward was minimal, yet his impact, somehow, was profound.
So his process, he called it weird.
Yeah.
And it was. He would basically just go to his office, often with a stack of patient files.
Right, the records.
And as he reviewed these files, reading about their crimes, their diagnoses, their violent histories, he would just work on himself.
That's it.
That's it. No direct interaction, no group therapy, no confrontation, just self-reflection and this intensely private internal process. It sounds incredibly passive, doesn't it? Like if you hear that for the first time, you think, how on earth could that possibly affect a ward full of violent, criminally insane patients? It makes no logical sense.
And that's precisely where the paradigm shift happens, isn't it? It seems passive from our usual external, fix the problem out there perspective. We're just so conditioned to believe that to fix something, you have to directly engage with it externally.
Right. Tackle it head on.
But Dr. Hew Len, he understood something different. He saw that the problem wasn't just out there with the patients, no. The patients' issues, their violence, the staff's fear, the whole heavy atmosphere, all of it was reflecting something within him.
Within him?
Within him. It was like a shared memory, he'd say, or a program playing out in the collective subconscious. So as he cleaned himself, as he calls it, by taking responsibility for his experience of the problem, by clearing the part of him that resonated with that suffering, an absolutely astonishing transformation started unfolding on the ward.
And when we say astonishing, we really mean, well, miraculous is probably the only word for it. As Dr. Hew Len did this internal cleaning, the actual data shows these unbelievable shifts.
Tangible results.
Totally tangible. The use of seclusion rooms and metal restraints, which were constantly in use before, they simply evaporated, just stopped being needed. Can you even imagine that?
It's hard to picture.
Physical and verbal violence, once rampant, just almost completely ceased. The need for medication among the patients dropped significantly.
Wow.
And patients who were once confined, obviously in restraints, they started doing stuff off the unit, like jogging, playing tennis. They even started doing work activities, washing cars, baking cookies.
Without restraints.
Without restraints, and without any special medical approval, the danger had just dissipated, gone.
And it wasn't just the patients transforming, right? It was the whole environment.
The whole thing. The staff, remember how burnt out and scared they were?
Yeah.
Their sickly problems ended completely. In fact, the unit actually became overstaffed because staff members who used to avoid it, who dreaded coming in, they started returning to work with enthusiasm. The whole place just became calmer, lighter, safer, cleaner, more active, fun even, productive.
Incredible.
Even the physical surroundings responded. Plants started to grow where they hadn't before. Chronic plumbing issues that plagued the unit actually reduced.
It's almost unbelievable, this story. It just flies in the face of everything we're taught about fixing problems.
And this story, while, it sounds incredible, maybe defies logic, it serves as the ultimate illustration of Hooponopono's core principle,
Which
is the external world you experience, everything that shows up in your reality, is a direct reflection of your internal state.
a mirror.
Exactly, a mirror. Dr. Hew Len's healing of the ward was fundamentally entirely self-healing. He wasn't treating the patients in the conventional sense. He was treating the part of himself that was creating his experience of the patients and the ward.
Right.
He understood, as he famously put it, that there wasn't anything wrong with the patients. The errors were in me.
Okay, just pause and let that sink in for a moment. The errors were in me.
Yeah. This immediately raises a huge, huge question for all of us, doesn't it? What does it mean for your life, for my life, if everything we perceive, everything we experience, from the smallest annoyance like traffic to the biggest global crisis we see on the news, is ultimately a reflection of something within us?
That's the mind-bending premise, isn't it? The one that Hooponopono asks us to really, truly grapple with, this idea of 100% personal responsibility.
100%.
And let's just pause on that for a second, because, most of us think, okay, I'm responsible for my actions, maybe my words, maybe my immediate thoughts.
Sure, the obvious stuff.
Right. But this takes it so much further. It means literally everything in your life simply because it is in your life, whether it's that frustrating commute, a difficult colleague, a persistent money worry, or, yeah, even a global crisis you're witnessing is your responsibility.
Wow.
Now, crucially, it's not your fault, not in the sense that you consciously caused it, but it's your responsibility to clean because it's showing up in your experience. It's a concept that just completely flips the script on blame and victimhood.
Totally flips it.
It pushes us to ask constantly, okay, what is this showing me about my inner world? What program, what memory within me needs cleaning right now?
And that just hits differently, doesn't it? Because our immediate, almost automatic reaction is always to look outside. Who can I blame? What external thing is causing this discomfort?
Always.
This philosophy forces you to confront that simple yet incredibly profound observation Dr. Hew Len often shared. Have you ever noticed that whenever you have a problem, you are there?
Huh.
Yeah.
Simple, but yeah.
The radical implication is, well, you can't genuinely blame anyone or anything outside yourself for your current reality. If it shows up in your experience, it's yours. Yours to process, yours to heal.
Yeah.
Because it's some kind of program running inside you.
And Hooponopono defines this idea of error in a unique and I think incredibly empowering way. It says problems aren't these fixed external realities we have to battle. No, they're thoughts tainted by painful memories from the past. Yeah, memories. These are what they call erroneous thoughts or programs. It teaches that fundamentally, problems are just replayed memories of the past showing up to give us one more chance to see with the eyes of love and to act from inspiration.
One more chance.
One more chance. So that recurring argument you have with a loved one, that financial setback that keeps happening, that feeling of being stuck in your career, these aren't just random external events hitting you. They're echoes. Echoes of old, unprocessed memories playing out in your subconscious, basically waving a flag saying, hey, look at me, clean me.
Okay, so this totally shifts the focus then. Away from trying to fix things out there and towards internal purification.
Exactly. The external problem you see or feel isn't inherently wrong in itself. It's just a signal, a manifestation or reflection of a shared memory or program that's active inside you. Think about it this way. When Dr. Hew Len was looking at those patient files, the pain he felt, the repulsion maybe, the sadness, the fear he experienced reading about those terrible things, that feeling within him was the shared memory. That was the program resonating inside him.
Okay.
So to truly help them, to transform that ward, he understood he had to remove that memory, that program from himself. He was cleaning his own internal data. And as he got clearer, the reflection in the external world, the ward changed to match.
Wow.
Which brings us to this core, almost paradoxical idea in Hooponopono. There is no out there.
No out there. Okay, unpack that one.
It means essentially that everything you experience, everything that exists for you, exists as thoughts in your mind. If you experience it, it exists within your perception. If you don't process it, if it doesn't enter your consciousness in some way, it doesn't really exist for you. It's like that old philosophical riddle, right? If a tree falls in a forest and no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound?
Yeah, I remember that one.
From this perspective, if you aren't there to perceive it, or if you aren't actively cleaning the memory that creates its perception within you, it doesn't exist for you in a way that actually impacts your healing or your reality.
Okay, so just to be super clear, this isn't about saying you're at fault for, I don't know, an earthquake happening somewhere.
Absolutely not. It's not about fault in that sense, not about blame. It's about taking radical responsibility for your internal experience of it, your feelings about it, the thoughts it triggers, the way it shows up in your awareness.
Okay, my experience of it.
Yes. And when you accept this 100% responsibility, which is a huge leap, I know you gain this immense, almost divine power, the power to heal anything that appears in your life, because you're finally acknowledging, okay, this is my experience, this is a program running within me.
Right.
And that acknowledgement empowers you to address it directly from the only place you truly have control, your inner self. You don't need to change the world out there. You simply change yourself, clean your internal data, and the world inevitably reflects that transformation back to you.
So, okay, this sounds almost intangible, right? This idea of my internal state changing external reality. The immediate question for anyone hearing this is, all right, how do I actually do this? What does this cleaning actually look like in practice?
Yeah, the practical how-to.
And surprisingly, maybe at its core, Hooponopono, or specifically this modernized version, self-identity Hooponopono, Scythe uses 4 incredibly simple yet immensely powerful phrases.
Just 4.
Just 4. They are, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you.
That's it. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you.
Now, it's really crucial, isn't it, to understand who or what these phrases are actually addressed to? Because it's not what most people think initially.
No, definitely not. They are not directed at the specific person you're upset with or even at the problem itself, like your empty bank account or your difficult boss.
Right. You're not saying, I love you to the difficult boss.
Exactly. You're saying them to the divine. Whatever that means for you, God, life, the universe, your higher power, divinity within, that's who you're speaking to.
Okay. To the divine.
Yes. And their purpose is to clean or transmute those erroneous memories, those programs within you that are creating your perception of the external problem. It's a deeply internal dialogue, a way of saying to divinity, I'm sorry for whatever is in me that created this experience or attracted this memory. And also, I love this memory. I love this program to help dissolve it, to transmute its energy back to zero.
And here's a really practical tip that Dr. Hew Len always emphasized, and it's honestly a game changer. You don't have to feel the emotions initially for these phrases to work.
That's huge.
It is, because sometimes you just don't feel love or forgiveness in that moment. The power is in the repetition, in the conscious, consistent act of just saying them, whether silently in your head or out loud.
Just doing it.
Just doing it. The feeling of peace, the release, the shift in energy that often follows as a natural consequence of the cleaning. It's not a prerequisite. It's like a mechanism for internal transformation that operates regardless of your immediate emotional state. You just keep cleaning, keep saying the phrases.
Yeah, and when you say these phrases, what you're doing is acknowledging that a program, maybe it's like the pattern of attracting difficult relationships, or maybe it's a physical thing like being overweight, or maybe it's just observing conflict somewhere, has entered your body-mind system.
It's in your field.
Exactly. And the I'm sorry, it's not for some angry God figure to forgive you for an external sin. No. It's to help you forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for allowing that memory or program to reside within you for whatever part of you attracted it or is holding on to it.
Okay. Forgiveness for myself.
Yes. And then I love you is described as kind of the code that unlocks the healing. It's the frequency, the energy that transmutes the stuck energy of that memory back into pure light, back to zero. And it fills the void that's created by clearing the memory with divine influence, with inspiration.
So this is where we see that really big, almost revolutionary shift from the traditional ancient Hooponopono practice, right?
Yeah, there's a key difference.
Because the ancient practice often involved like interpersonal mediation, group participation. You get the whole family or community together.
Right, trying to get everyone to agree on what happened, who was at fault.
Which sounds difficult.
Exactly. Imagine trying to mediate that. It could, and apparently often did, lead to more arguments, more contention, people digging their heels in about their version of the problem, because everyone involved had their own memories, their own programs running.
Makes sense.
But self-identity Hooponopono, or SAFE, which was created by Dr. Hew Len's teacher, a kahuna named Morna Nalamaku Simeona, it's entirely intrapersonal.
Intra, meaning within oneself.
Exactly. It's done completely within you. It requires absolutely no one else's participation or even their awareness.
Wow, that changes everything.
It simplifies the process immensely, doesn't it? And it empowers the individual beyond measure. You don't need to gather everyone involved. You don't need a mediator. You don't even need to tell anyone what you're doing.
Just you and the divine.
Just you, the divine, and the cleaning. It happens entirely internally. And as your internal state changes, as you clean that shared memory within you, the external reality just shifts. It has to match your new, purer internal state.
So the immediate goal of all this cleaning, it's inner peace, right?
Primarily, yes, inner peace. Getting back to zero. What's truly fascinating, though, is that when you achieve that profound inner peace about a situation, the external results you might have been desperately wanting, like the improved health, the better relationship, the financial abundance, they often just manifest effortlessly, almost like a beautiful side effect.
A side effect of peace.
Yeah, because the internal blockage, the program causing the friction, has been removed. The energy flows freely again.
Okay, now this next point. This is absolutely mind-blowing, especially if you, the listener, are familiar with popular self-help ideas like the attractor factor or law of attraction stuff. Right, which often put huge emphasis on the power of conscious intention. Focused visualization, setting goals. Dr. Hew Len's teachings kind of turn that on its head. They reveal that intention, as we typically understand it, can actually be a limitation.
A limitation? How so?
He calls it an ego's toy. A limited tool of the conscious mind. He suggests that what we often perceive as our conscious intention is actually just an echo, an echo of a pre-existing program, a memory playing out, or maybe just a slight misdirection from our intellect.
Wow. Okay. So our intentions aren't really ours, or not purely ours.
It's a challenging idea. Think about it neurologically for a second. Neuroscience, particularly those famous experiments by Benjamin Libet.
Oh, yeah, the readiness potential experiment.
Exactly. They suggest that brain activity related to an action actually happens before we become consciously aware of intending to act.
Right. The brain fires before we decide.
Which implies that our intentions might be more like premonitions, maybe, or impulses already in motion from the unconscious, rather than these top-down directives we consciously generate and control.
That fits.
And Joe Vitale, the author of the book Zero Limits that we're drawing a lot from, he even notes that many of his own big successes, like getting his dream BMW, writing bestsellers, they often happened without actually trying, without specifically intending them in that forceful way.
They just flowed.
Yeah, they just flowed, almost like an unseen hand was guiding things. Even Rhonda Byrne, the creator of The Secret, admitted the idea for that hugely successful movie just came to her as an inspiration, not something she sat down and consciously decided to manifest, which really suggests there's a deeper current at play than just our conscious will.
Okay, so if conscious intention, which we're often taught to cultivate and focus on, is actually a limitation, where's the real power then? Where do these inspirations, like the idea for The Secret, truly come from?
Now we get to the heart of it. It lies in what Dr. Hew Len calls the zero state.
The zero state. Okay.
The zero state is also called the void, emptiness, purity. This is the natural fundamental state of our self-identity. It's free from all the clutter, all the noise of accumulated memories. It is, as he says, where there are zero limits.
Zero limits, because there are no programs running.
Exactly. And from this Hooponopono perspective, life operates from two primary sources. Only two. Either it's memory, those old erroneous programs replaying, dictating our thoughts, feelings, actions.
Got it. The default mode for most of us, maybe.
Probably. Or it's inspiration, which is described as a brand new, pure message, a directive coming directly from the divine.
So memory or inspiration.
That's it. And when your mind is at zero, completely clear to those accumulated memories through continuous cleaning, only then can true creation take place, which is what he defines as inspiration.
Okay, so cleaning clears the static so the signal can come through.
Perfect analogy. It's like your mind can only serve one master at a time, either the noisy, insistent replaying memories or the pure, clear signal of inspiration from the divine.
Yeah.
You can't be at zero and simultaneously be running an old memory. They're mutually exclusive states.
Wow. Think about that for a moment. It's not about trying harder, visualizing more intensely, forcing things.
Nope.
It's about clearing the clutter, making space for something new and perfect to come in, not trying to force your idea of perfect into existence.
Exactly. And this leads to a really profound understanding of what Dr. Hew Len calls free won't. Not free will, free won't.
Free won't.
Yeah. The only true free will we possess, according to this philosophy, isn't the ability to choose what impulses arise in us, because those come from either memory or inspiration.
Right. We don't control the arising.
We don't control the arising. Our true choice, our free will or free won't, is the conscious choice to say yes or no to an impulse that has already arisen.
Okay, so an impulse comes up.
If it's from memory, like fear, anger, doubt, you say no to it by cleaning it. You don't act on it, you clean it. If it's from inspiration, a pure, often unexpected idea or urge, you say yes to it. You act on it without hesitation.
I see. So the ideal path, the better choice, is just to continuously clean.
All the time.
All the time, because that way you're constantly clearing the memories. And when inspiration does arrive, when that perfect impulse surfaces, you're clear enough to recognize it and act on it without resistance, without overthinking, without needing to analyze it or decide if it's a good idea or control the outcome.
You just do it.
You just do it. As Dr. Hew Len says, you choose, but you don't decide. Divinity decides. It's about surrendering to that divine flow, letting inspiration guide you.
He uses a beautiful analogy for this, doesn't he? The Grand Symphony.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah.
He explains that every single one of us has a specific instrument to play in the universe's grand performance. Think about it. A violin doesn't try to be a drum, right?
And a trumpet doesn't envy the flute. Each has its unique sound, its unique contribution, its perfect part in the whole piece.
Yeah.
Problems arise then when we resist our assigned role. When we try to play someone else's instrument because we think it sounds better, or when our own instrument is out of tune because it's clogged with those old memories interfering.
So cleaning helps us get back in tune, play our own part perfectly.
Exactly. Cleaning helps us get back in tune with our true inspired note, our unique contribution. He often pointed to examples like famous actors, maybe someone like James Communion, or even iconic figures like P.T. Barnum.
P.T. Barnum?
Yeah, apparently his gravestone famously reads, "Not my will, but thine be done."
Wow, really?
Yeah. These are examples, maybe unknowingly, of individuals just playing their part, acting on the impulses that come without interference from the conscious mind trying to manage everything, allowing the divine's plan, the symphony, to unfold through them. It's really about surrendering to that larger flow and truly deeply trusting it.
Okay, so let's talk about how this actually plays out in the real world. Because the stories of transformation that came out of this practice are they're astonishing, and they go way beyond that mental hospital word.
Oh, yeah. These aren't just abstract concepts. They are lived experiences of profound change, often in really unexpected ways.
Let's start with health. How has cleaning shown up there?
Well, the applications are really compelling. Joe Vitale himself, he talks about a time he had a urinary tract infection coming on.
Okay, painful.
Yeah. But instead of immediately rushing for antibiotics while he was sensing the infection, he just started saying, "I love you" to the divine, constantly, addressing the internal program, the memory that might have contributed to it,
Cleaning on the symptom?
cleaning on his experience of the symptom. And within hours, he said, the symptoms started to recede. And the infection just cleared up completely, without medication. And there's a story of Martha Snee, a woman who suffered from chronic asthma for years. She started consistently applying cleaning to her own internal memories related to the illness, just cleaning whenever she thought about it or felt symptoms. And her asthma just resolved, went away.
Just gone.
Just gone. And Wendy Young, another example, found relief from debilitating leg pain. She later realized, through cleaning, that the pain was intrinsically linked to stuck anger within her about a financial issue. Simply by shifting her perception, cleaning on that internal program, the pain lessened dramatically. It really speaks to that deep mind-body connection, doesn't it?
It really does. Okay, what about relationships? That's a huge area for most people.
Oh, huge. And the shifts there can be profound. Joe Vitale tells this story about a really upsetting situation with someone who had caused him significant trouble.
We've all been there.
Right. Conventionally, you'd maybe confront them, write an angry email, complain to friends, just stew in resentment.
Yeah, the usual reactions.
But Joe, applying Hooponopono, did none of that. Instead, he just silently, consistently repeated the 4 phrases, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you," addressing them to the divinity within himself, cleaning the part of him that was experiencing this problem, this upset.
Okay, so focused entirely inward.
Entirely inward, days later, completely out of the blue, an email lands in his inbox from the very person who had upset him.
No way.
An unsolicited, heartfelt apology. He hadn't sent a single message, made a single call, nothing external. Yet the external reality had shifted to reflect his internal cleaning.
Ah, that's incredible.
Isn't it? Another time, his employee went missing. Turned out the guy was in prison. Joe spent 3 days just continuously cleaning on the situation, on his feelings about it, the memories it brought up. And incredibly, the employee surfaced, made contact.
Wow.
And he talks about his frustrating sister, how her difficult circumstances improved dramatically as he simply cleaned on his internal experience of her issues. He wasn't trying to fix her or give her advice, he just cleaned himself.
That's a tough one, letting go of trying to fix others.
It is. Victoria Schaefer, another story, had an employee commission dispute causing her immense anger. She focused on cleaning her own internal reactions, her anger, her feelings of injustice, and the dispute resolved itself smoothly. The anger just dissolved.
Amazing.
And maybe most heartwarming, Chris Stewart, after really dedicating himself to the practice, quite remarkably met his life partner at a Hooponopono event. Like, the universe brought them together once he was clear. A clear example of attracting what you need when you're in alignment.
Okay. And emotional healing. That seems like a core benefit.
Oh, absolutely. A huge and deeply personal aspect. Joe Vitale shared a really powerful experience about one of his own books. There's a customer born every minute. He considered it an underperformer.
Okay.
And he felt disappointment, even a sense of failure about it. Dr. Hew Len challenged him. He said, "You need to love that book. Treat it like your child.
Love the underperforming book.
Love the underperforming book." And as Joe consciously did this, shifting his internal perception from disappointment and judgment to just pure love and acceptance. He felt this massive release. A healing occurred, not just about the book's sales, but for his own sense of self-worth that he'd tied to those outcomes.
That's deep.
It is. Narissa Odin, another person, during a really high-intensity landmark forum exercise, started crying uncontrollably, just overwhelmed by this deep fear of people she didn't even know she had. Then she remembered Hooponopono. Right there, in the middle of the room, she started mentally cleaning on her fear, just repeating the phrases internally. And miraculously, the crying stopped. Just stopped. And this profound calm settled over her.
Instant shift.
Instant shift. And maybe one of the most striking examples is Dana Hain. She initially felt intense rage, like white-hot rage, against Dr. Hew Len himself for something she perceived he'd done.
Against the teacher.
Against the teacher. But instead of acting on it, she committed to cleaning her own internal reaction, her rage, her judgment, continuously. And to her utter amazement, her rage transformed into deep love and peace for the very person she had so fiercely resented just moments before.
That's transformation.
That's transformation.
And does this extend to things like financial and career success too? Because that's often tied up with a lot of striving and effort in our culture.
Absolutely. And often in ways that completely defy conventional business wisdom. There's a story of Amy Scott Grant. She experienced this period of exponential business growth. New clients just flowed in, contracts materialized out of nowhere. Her email list grew by like 300%.
Wow.
She even found herself getting booked on celebrity shows, and she described it all happening without force, without trying. She was simply cleaning constantly, cleaning her way to success.
Cleaning her way to success.
Yeah.
I like that.
Wendy Young, who we mentioned with the leg pain, that was tied to a $1.2 million contract unexpectedly falling apart. She initially spiraled into despair, obviously.
Understandable.
But through cleaning, she shifted her focus. She recognized, okay, I still have $600,000 from other things. She focused on gratitude for that existing abundance, cleaned any fears around loss, and boom. New opportunities started flowing in again, and her body healed as the stuck anger released.
Amazing synergy.
Then there's Marvin. He's a luxury car salesman. Reportedly sells an astonishing $150 million worth of cars every year.
$150 million. How?
His secret, he claims he just says, I love you, all day long. Silently, internally, while interacting with clients, while looking at the cars, while dealing with paperwork, addressing any internal programs, any data that might block the sale or the connection.
Just I love you.
Just I love you. Carrie King landed a book contract within 2 weeks of her very first Hooponopono training. And even more remarkably, she apparently healed her cat's lymphoma.
Healed her cat. How?
By consistently cleaning on the animal's condition, treating it as a shared memory, a program appearing in her reality that needed cleaning within her. And Bruce Burns saw profound positive shifts, not just in his own income and life patterns, but also in his parents' and his in-law situations, simply by him taking responsibility and cleaning the patterns he observed. These aren't just isolated coincidences. They point to a pattern of effortless manifestation that happens when you clean the internal blocks.
So the impact isn't just limited to people problems or our own internal states. It extends even to objects and environments. That seems even stranger.
It does seem stranger from our usual perspective, but yeah. Dr. Hew Len spoke quite matter-of-factly about talking to and loving an event room he was scheduled to use. He even gave it a name, Sheila.
He named the room Sheila.
Apparently so. And he said Sheila then agreed to the honor and everything went perfectly smoothly. He even told a story about cleaning a specific chair in his office.
Cleaning a chair?
Yeah, he said it felt dead and uncomfortable after a previous seminar where people had brought a lot of heavy energy. So he consciously cleaned on the chair, sent it love, and he said it visibly straightened up and became comfortable again.
Okay, that's definitely out there.
It is, and maybe the most astonishing anecdote involves a NASA engineer. She reported that her rocket, during a test flight, started veering off course. Serious problem.
Oh, wow.
Dr. Hew Len happened to be there just observing, and he simply said, I'm sorry, to the rocket. Internally, cleaning whatever in him was experiencing this potential disaster, and the engineer reported that the rocket somehow corrected itself in flight.
Corrected itself.
Corrected itself. These instances, however strange they sound, highlight this deep interconnectedness of all things in our perception and how our internal state, our cleaning, can influence the very fabric of our perceived reality.
And the practical applications can get pretty unusual too, right? Like Marvin, the car salesman?
Oh yeah, Marvin. He attributes a lot of his success to sticking these little seaport stickers everywhere.
Seaport? What's that?
Dr. Hew Len explains it's a cleaning tool itself. The word stands for clean, erase, while returning back to port meaning the zero state.
Ah, okay. So the sticker itself is a reminder or a tool.
Exactly. Marvin sticks them under desks, on the cars he sells, even on his coffee pots. He believes they're constantly working, cleaning the environment. And Dr. Hew Len considered Joe Vitale's custom Pano's sports car logo and even his business card to be cleaning tools too, imbuing everyday objects with that intention of purification.
And the reach of this. It goes beyond the immediate physical, doesn't it? Across time and distance.
That's what the practitioners report, yeah.
Right.
It suggests our consciousness, our cleaning, isn't bound by physical proximity or even linear time. Denise Kalansky shared a powerful dream she had.
A dream.
Yeah, envisioning a future world where prisons aren't needed because Hooponopono has spread so widely. And the dream culminated in this intense scenario where she lovingly addressed an attacker, using the phrases, and it led to a revival through love. It illustrates that transformative power in even the most extreme imagined circumstances.
Wow.
And Joe Vitale talks about a profoundly moving experience he had. He decided to apply the cleaning phrases, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you," to the historical and ongoing suffering of bile bears. Oh, those poor animals.
Exactly. Those bears cruelly caged for bile extraction in parts of Asia. He focused on cleaning the collective memory of this suffering within himself. As he did, he felt this profound wave of global healing and transformation wash over him. It's a testament, perhaps, to how cleaning within ourselves can reverberate across vast distances, time, and even across species.
So beyond the 4 core phrases, there are other practical, sometimes kind of quirky cleaning tools Dr. Hew Len suggested.
Yeah, a few others that come up often. One is drinking blue solar water.
Blue solar water.
It's not mystical water, it's just water that's been placed in a blue glass container like a blue bottle, no metal cap, and then set in the sun, or even under an incandescent lamp for at least an hour.
Why blue glass? And the sun.
The idea is the blue glass filters the light and the water absorbs the sun's energy or the lamp's energy. And when you drink it, it's believed to help void or transmute memories within your subconscious. Clean the data.
Interesting. Any others? Eating specific foods is also mentioned as a way to void memories, particularly strawberries and blueberries.
Strawberries and blueberries, why them?
The why isn't always fully explained, more just that they work. Eating them fresh, dried, even in jams or syrups, is said to help with this internal cleansing. And a common, almost like a symbolic tool, is using the eraser end of a pencil.
An eraser.
Yeah. To gently tap on items you want to clean. Could be a problematic bill, a contract, a book, a photo, even a part of your body where you feel pain or discomfort. It acts as a psychological trigger, focusing your intention to clean that thing's associated memories within you.
Like a physical anchor for the cleaning.
Exactly. You can also mentally dunk an object, say a book you're struggling with, or you can visualize a difficult situation into a glass of water that has fruit in it, like strawberries or blueberries.
Mentally dunk it.
Mentally dunk it. These seemingly simple, maybe even odd actions are all linked by that core internal intention, cleaning the shared memories associated with whatever you're focusing on. It shows how the universe, perhaps, responds to the purity of our intention, offering countless ways back to that zero state.
Okay, let's dive a bit deeper now into some of the philosophy behind this, because it really does challenge our basic assumptions about reality and, well, our place in it.
Right, the underpinnings.
The concept of zero seems absolutely central. It's the start, the end, the goal. The book references Charles Safe's work, Zero, the biography of a dangerous idea, to draw this fascinating parallel.
Yeah, that the universe begins and ends with zero.
Exactly, which aligns so perfectly with the Hooponopono idea of the void, that zero state being the fundamental, pure, infinitely potent state of existence. No limits, no programs, no distorting memories, just the clean slate where all true inspiration comes from.
And this leads into a more detailed understanding of the IR self-identity. Hooponopono defines it as a unit, like a team made of 4 parts working together.
4 parts, okay.
Yeah, think of it like your own internal committee. First, there's divine intelligence, the ultimate source, the creator, pure inspiration.
Got it, the big source.
Then, the superconscious mind. In Hawaiian, it's a makua. This is like your higher self, connected across all time and space. Think of it as the wise overseer holding the perfect blueprint for you, completely free of memories.
Okay, omakua.
Below that is the conscious mind, uthane. That's us right now. The part that thinks, perceives, analyzes, makes choices based on what it's aware of. The mother part, sometimes called.
Using us.
And finally, the subconscious mind, Ihaleakala. This is often visualized as the inner child. It's the storehouse. It holds all the memories, every single experience, good and bad, from the beginning of creation. It feels the emotions associated with those memories.
Ihaleakala, the memory bank.
Exactly. So the cleaning process, saying those 4 phrases, is primarily about the Hawaiian conscious mind, petitioning divine intelligence to transmute the erroneous memories stored in the Ihaleakala subconscious. It's clearing that pathway, cleaning the data in the Ihaleakala, so the connection up through Hawaiian to Omakua and ultimately to divine intelligence is clear. So inspiration can flow down unimpeded.
So when you say, I love you to a problem, you're really talking to that memory in the Ihaleakala, asking for it to be cleared.
That's the idea. You're loving the memory, taking responsibility for it, and asking divinity to transmute it back to zero.
Dr. Hew Len also had that wonderfully descriptive and kind of funny term for when the conscious mind gets in the way.
Oh yeah, kukai pa,
Kukai pa.
which means,
Hilariously, it translates roughly to intellectual constipation.
ah, perfect.
Isn't it? We've all been there, right? That feeling when you're just spinning your wheels, trying to figure out a problem with your Uhani, your conscious mind, analyzing, planning, strategizing endlessly.
Getting nowhere. Just stressed. Exactly. All you get is a headache, frustration, no forward movement. His term just perfectly nails that common human resistance to simply letting go, trusting the process, and just cleaning. It's when your mind is so full of trying to manage everything that no new inspiration, no divine solution can possibly break through the noise.
Yeah, intellectual constipation. I'm going to remember that one.
And this whole journey of understanding and practicing Hooponopono often mirrors what Dr. Hew Len described as the 3 stages of awakening. It's like an evolution in how we relate to life.
3 stages.
The first stage, where many people start and maybe stay, is the victim.
Victim consciousness.
Right. You fundamentally believe life happens to you. You see yourself as just a passive recipient of external circumstances, good or bad luck, fate, other people's actions. Always pointing fingers outside the economy, my boss, my spouse, the government, the weather.
Feeling powerless.
Totally powerless, at the mercy of events out there.
Okay, stage 1. What's stage 2?
Stage 2, maybe you start getting into self-help, personal development. You discover things like the law of attraction. You move into being in control, or the creator.
Ah, the manifestor stage.
Exactly. Here, you discover your power to influence your reality through conscious intention, visualization, affirmations, taking specific actions. This is where ideas from The Secret really resonate.
And you start seeing results.
You do. You do achieve results. You might manifest a new car, a better job, specific opportunities. It feels empowering, for sure. But there's still often a palpable sense of effort, of trying, forcing, making things happen. And you inevitably hit limitations, walls you can't seem to push through with intention alone. The conscious mind, Uthane, however powerful it seems, still has its limits because it's operating from known data, from memory.
Okay, so victim, then creator. What's the 3rd stage?
The 3rd stage, for those who keep seeking, who realize there must be something more, is awakening. Or, as Dr. Hew Len might put it, being a servant to the divine.
Awakening. Servant to the divine.
Here, you have this profound realization that conscious intentions, while maybe useful stepping stones, are ultimately limitations themselves. They're still based on memory, on what the conscious mind thinks it wants or needs.
Right. Limited perspective.
Yes, so you begin to surrender, to let go of the need to control. You start recognizing inspiration as it arises, those pure, unexpected directives coming directly from the divine, from the zero state. You learn to act on these pure impulses immediately, without attachment to outcomes, without needing to figure it all out first.
Just trusting and acting.
Just trusting and acting. And this, they say, is where true miracles happen, constantly. Effortlessly, because you're no longer blocking the flow with your own limited ideas. It leads to this profound, ongoing state of amazement, wonder, and gratitude. It's a huge shift from trying to control everything to simply being in alignment and allowing the divine's perfect plan, which is always better than ours, to unfold through you. You shift from wanting something specific to just asking for divinity to decide what is perfect.
Which leads perfectly into Dr. Hew Len's signature phrase, doesn't it? The one he shared all the time.
Peace of I.
P-O-I.
Peace of I, which means...
It means peace beyond all understanding. That deep, unshakable calm that comes not from having everything figured out, but from consistently living from that zero state, cleaning constantly, surrendering to the divine flow. It's the natural byproduct of letting go.
Peace beyond understanding. He even had a really provocative advanced concept he sometimes mentioned. Something about killing the divine. That sounds intense.
It does sound intense, and it's definitely advanced. It's not literal, of course. It's a metaphor.
Okay, good.
It's about going beyond even waiting for or relying on inspiration. It points towards reaching home, that purest zero state, where you are so completely merged with the divine, so at zero, that there's no longer a separation, no need for external directives or messages, because you are the flow.
Yeah.
It just emphasizes that continuous cleaning is the ultimate path, eventually transcending even the need for messages from the divine, because you become one with it. Wow. That's way out there.
Yeah.
But it points to the ultimate goal.
It does. And going back to the phrases for a moment, the essence of "I'm sorry" and "please forgive me" is so crucial to grasp correctly.
Right, because it can sound like groveling or admitting fault.
Exactly. But as we touched on, it's not for a demanding divinity out there that needs you to apologize for some external sin. No. Those phrases are spoken to help you forgive yourself, to help you, the conscious mind, clear the internal programs, the memories in Ihaleakala that are blocking you from experiencing the divine's ever-present unconditional love.
So divinity doesn't need it, we need it.
Precisely. The divine, from this perspective, is already perfect, already loving, already forgiving. Divinity doesn't need you to do Hooponopono, but you need to do it. We need to do it to remove our internal blocks, to clear the resistance within ourselves that prevents us from experiencing that inherent perfection and love that's already here.
It's interesting, too, how Joe Vitale himself, hugely successful self-help author, who really built his career on conscious intention, law of attraction stuff, how he reflects on discovering Hooponopono.
Yeah, it must have been a shock to his system.
Right. He talks about how this profound understanding caused him to seriously question his previous teachings on conscious intention and control. He came to realize the deeper truth in letting go, in cleaning, in trusting inspiration. He acknowledged that his earlier works, while incredibly helpful stepping stones for millions of people.
And they were.
Absolutely. But that they might have been incomplete in light of these deeper revelations from Dr. Hew Len. It just shows a real willingness to grow and evolve, doesn't it? Even for someone at the, pinnacle of the self-help world.
True humility and openness, that's key.
Okay, so let's talk about the skepticism.
Yeah.
Because naturally this stuff sounds, well, pretty out there to the logical mind. It's natural to hear these stories, these concepts, and think, this sounds too simple, too magical. How can it possibly work?
The million-dollar question.
Right. And Dr. Hew Len offers a really critical piece of insight here.
Yeah.
He reminds us that we are only consciously aware of a tiny, tiny fraction of the information constantly bombarding us.
It's staggering when you hear the numbers.
It really is. He says something like, millions of bits of information flood our senses every single second. But our conscious mind, our dothane, only processes about, 15 to 40 bits per second.
Something incredibly small like that. The difference is astronomical.
Astronomical. And that profound limitation right there explains why our conscious mind simply cannot grasp the full picture. We can't truly control outcomes in the way we often believe we can. Our conscious awareness is like a tiny flashlight beam in a vast dark warehouse filled with data from the beginning of time.
Great analogy. We're seeing almost nothing.
Almost nothing. So if someone challenges that no out there concept, like they argue, what are the actions of millions of people on the other side of the world? Or the complexity of a global crisis? How is that in me?
Yeah, the common objection.
The Hooponopono response is subtle but powerful. All of that information, even about millions of people, about complex global events, is ultimately processed inside your head. The news report you read, the images you see, the feelings it evokes.
It's all internal data.
It's all internal data.
Yeah.
What you experience of them, what registers in your reality, is an internal phenomenon. It's a program, a memory, running in your own subconscious, your Ihaleakala, that you are responsible for cleaning. You literally cannot experience what is out there except through the filter, the lens of what is in here with your own consciousness and its stored data.
So you clean your perception of it, your reaction to it.
Exactly. And Dr. Hew Len's advice on this whole how does it work thing is simple but maybe challenging to our instant gratification culture.
Yeah, he was pretty direct.
He'd say, this is not a McDonald's approach to life. This is not a fast food drive-up window where you instantly get your order. God is not an order taker.
Huh.
It takes constant focus on cleaning, the how, the mechanism. It can remain mysterious. It's a process perhaps beyond our intellectual grasp, something our conscious mind Uthane doesn't actually need to fully comprehend for it to work.
Trust the process, not the understanding.
Right. The consistent application of cleaning, that unwavering commitment to 100% responsibility, leads to undeniable, tangible results, often in ways you could never have planned or intended with your limited conscious mind.
It really highlights that paradox, doesn't it? The profound simplicity of the method, just 4 phrases, versus the significant difficulty of the commitment.
Oh, yeah.
The phrases themselves, incredibly easy to remember and say. Anyone can do it. But taking 100% responsibility for everything that appears in your life, even the stuff you actively dislike, the stuff you deem not yours, the things that feel profoundly unfair or unjust.
That's the hard part.
That's the incredibly challenging part. And committing to continuous moment-to-moment cleaning, it demands a level of surrender, humility, and sustained inner work that really goes against so much of our conventional programming, which is constantly seeking external fixes and external blame. It requires this radical, ongoing reorientation of your entire perception.
Wow. Okay. So we've really journeyed through quite a landscape today, haven't we?
We really have.
From the absolutely astounding claims and practical applications of Hooponopono, that miraculous healing of the mental hospital ward, the transformations in personal health, relationships, finances, even our experience of the environment around us.
Yeah, it covers a lot of ground.
It's really this radical call, isn't it, to embrace 100% responsibility for everything you perceive, to truly recognize that your outer world is just a mirror of your inner state, your stored data, and to commit to continuously cleaning those inner programs with the profound yet incredibly simple power of I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you.
This practice, really, at its heart, it's an invitation to release struggle, to let go of that relentless need our minds have to control, to analyze, to figure everything out, and instead to allow miracles, allow inspiration, allow the perfect solutions to unfold effortlessly.
Yeah.
It's a path that aims to move you beyond all those perceived limitations, beyond the walls built by old memories, towards that state of zero limits, where inspiration flows freely from the divine, guiding you towards a life of profound peace and often surprising abundance and joy.
So here's something to maybe sit with after listening. If every problem that appears in your life, every challenging person you encounter, every frustrating situation, every fear that surfaces, if it truly is an opportunity, a gift, really, to clean a shared memory within you.
A shift in perspective right there.
Right. What one challenge are you willing to take 100% responsibility for right now? Not blame, remember, but responsibility for your experience of it in this moment. What's the one thing that keeps coming up, the thing that makes you groan or feel stuck or anxious?
Just pick one to start.
Just pick one. And how do you begin, maybe right now, maybe later today, to simply say, I love you to it, to that internal program it represents? Just start the cleaning, trusting the divine to do the rest, without needing to know how or why. What would happen if you did?